Hey, so hi, I'm Anna Finch from Finch Press, and welcome back to my channel. This is the 6th video in this series, and it's also the last currently. So this is based on my experience and what I learned through publishing my children's book. Everything in here is based on my opinion. What worked for me may not work for you. Okay, so this one's focused on marketing and book launch. Sorry. So one thing you need to do is you need to actually decide what sort of marketing you'll do. So are you going to do NetGalley to do ARC review copies or advanced reader copies? Are you going to use Voiceless? Are you going to do a press release? There's a gig on Fiverr where they can do that for you. Are you going to do BookBub ads, social media posts, written media ads, which is where Bargain Booksy comes from. They also do Facebook and Amazon reach ads as well for your books. Amazon has a 5 review, or for the Amazon reach ads, you need to have 5 reviews at least and a rating above a certain amount to do that. Facebook doesn't have that limit. So you need to decide on what sort of marketing you're going to do. So, for example, ARCs. So these are advanced reader copies or advanced reviewer copies. Basically, you give a free copy of your book to someone. In return, they give you an honest review. You need to decide how you're going to do that. Are you going to do a giveaway? Are you going to upload your ARCs to one or more platforms? Some platforms can include NetGalley, Voiceless, Booksprout, and Hidden Gem Books. Just be aware, Hidden Gem Books is booked at least 1 year in advance, sometimes 2 years in advance for some categories. NetGalley is expensive. The main people who use NetGalley are librarians, professional reviewers, educators. They're the ones who generally access it. It is free for the average reader to create a NetGalley account. Now, Voiceless is expensive. It is cheaper than NetGalley, but the audience is focused on bookstores and platforms like that. Booksprout is free for one book, a small amount of reviews. So they only, I think the cap is 25 for the free account for the one book. The account for Booksprout is fairly cheap. You've also got Book Sirens, but they're very picky about what they take and what they put in their platform. Now, NetGalley, last time I looked, was like upwards of like $300, $400 for I think a 3-month listing. It's expensive. Now, there is a gig on Fiverr, which I used for Hide and Seek Alphabet, where someone who has a NetGalley account, like a business one, will upload your book to NetGalley for a short period of time and promote it. So they'll upload it for a week. You can ask for longer, and it's much cheaper. If you just need to get out some ARC reviews within a small amount of time, you can do that. Rather than, and because especially if you're not sure if NetGalley is right for your book, you can do it. I haven't used Voiceless. Don't know how effective it is. If you've used it, let me know down below. But the audience for me, because of the Hide and Seek Alphabet, because of what it's designed to do, NetGalley is probably the better choice for that particular book, because the audience is the librarians, it's the educators, the people who work in kindergartens and things like that, who are looking for books to put in their libraries or to put in the schools. So that one's more appropriate for mine. Voiceless might be more effective, for example, for a novel. I don't know. I've not used it. Book launch. So ARC reviews are pre-launch, if you're going to do it or not. I find it is a good idea. I did ARC copies via Booksprout with Voiceless. I use NetGalley and Booksprout for hide and seek alphabet, and it was good. So on Booksprout, 4 people requested an ARC for my book. 3 out of the 4 currently have put in a review. And because with Booksprout, you can select where you want them to publish the reviews. So you have to put the links into Amazon, Kobo, Nook, Barnes & Noble, whatever. So you can put where you want it to be posted. And you can set a requirement, how many places does the review need to be posted. So it can mean that, for example, on the day of release, you might have 2, 3 reviews on Amazon on your product listing saying they got this free review from this place. Here's what I thought of it. And it might be something that can improve, might get someone to actually go through with purchasing your book. Same with NetGalley. NetGalley, I got like 13 currently reviews. Like nearly, I think about 30 people downloaded the ARC. And I got about 13 reviews. So I've got a pretty high turnover rate, and even after the release date, I'm still getting some reviews from it. So it helps, because some advertising platforms have like a 5 review limit and a star limit as well. So it can help. That's my opinion. Okay, you have to decide whether or not it works with your book. I'm probably going to go on NetGalley myself for Melly the Mermaid, possibly, or I'll see if I can hire someone to do Voiceless for a short period of time as well, just to see which one's more effective, if I can get more book sales. Book launch. You need to decide if you're going to do an online or an in-person book launch, where you're going to do it. If it's online, if you've got your own YouTube channel, your own Facebook, your own Twitter, Instagram, whatever, you can easily set it up yourself, run it yourself. In person, you need to contact the people ahead of time. If it's a bookstore, if it's a library, wherever, if it's a school, you need to contact them ahead of time and organise when you're going to do it, what you're going to do, who's going to bring what, or who's in charge of what. Some of the things you might do in your book launch or your book release day is a Q&A session where the audience will ask you questions and you answer them. You might do a live book reading. So you might read a small segment of your book, maybe the first 2 chapters if it's a novel. Maybe you read the entire book if it's a children's picture book and you're doing it at a library. You might read the entire thing. Book signings. Here's the thing with book signings. Make sure your autograph as an author is different from your real signature. Completely different. Okay? Because if it looks like your real signature, someone might use it. Okay? So make sure your autograph that you use as an author is different from your real signature. Decide if you can also do some giveaways. So you might say, for example, if you're doing, like with the alphabet book, I'm currently doing a companion text for handwriting / letter tracing / colouring in book. You might do, on the book release, you might do a limited run or an early giveaway, an early release giveaway of a companion book, like an activity book or colouring in book. For every person, whoever buys a copy of the physical book there at the book launch, their name goes into an entry. By the end of the book launch or event, 5 people's names are drawn out. They get a copy of the companion book or whatever prize you're giving out. So you can do giveaways, and you can announce the results of giveaways in a book launch. If it's online, you can do writing sprints if that's something people on your channel do. If you do writing sprints normally on your channel, you can do that. Yeah, post-launch. Yeah, my dad took a photo of this on the camera, so I look like a balloon. Anyway, so post-launch, things like you can do readings, organize readings at schools, at libraries, bookstores. There's actually an independent bookstore in Melbourne. They've got like five stores, and they do book launch and they also do book readings. So I'm thinking about organising with them because they've got a children's only. So they've got one of the bookstores is they've got in the city where it's for kids. It's the bookstore for kids. So the only books you will have is children, young children, YA, middle grade kind of stuff. And they do readings there too. Libraries. I mean, if you're a self-published author and you're not that big of a name, offer to do free reading. Offer to read your book at story time on Sunday morning, whatever. You can organise that. I've actually got to contact my local library to see if I can do that. You can do market stalls in your local area at a community festival, which is what I did in that. That's what I'm doing in that photo, and what I did literally 2 days after my release. You can do interviews, podcast discussions, you can do radio advertising, you can do social media promotions. I did market stall. I ran a market stall. I'm going to be doing another one in December, a couple more in December. I did an interview with Voiceless. I haven't done one with Hide and Seek Alphabet. I haven't done radio advertising for Hide and Seek Alphabet. But I've done social media promotions, which is why I got a pretty decent amount of sales on the first week. So decide what you want to do. But you do need to advertise post-launch in order to keep the momentum going. So I did a press release through a company. I don't know how effective it was, but at least it got the information out there. For me personally, BookBub ads, at least the ones you create yourself and run yourself, I get a lot of impressions, very little clicks. So turnaround costs, like cost of running these ads and time taken to create that ad, I could have spent elsewhere. Yeah. All right, that's oh, before I finish, with market stalls, be aware, this depends on your location. I live in Melbourne. Melbourne's known for raining out of nowhere. It could be nice and sunny for like half the day and then suddenly rain. So for me, if the market stall's outside, I need a marquee or a gazebo, some sort of covering, because it started off nice and sunny, the market, and then at random points in the day, it would drizzle a bit of rain. Now, it's a different story if you're selling things, you know, in plastic packaging that is wrapped, but I'm selling books. Yeah, I need covering. Water would destroy the books. And the books I've got are the ones I want to sell. Now, you need covering. You might need to get tables. So I would personally try and find an indoor market that will supply at least the tables, so that you just need to bring the stuff you're going to sell and a chair. And with markets, I do recommend having something to take digital payments. I used Square. I've recently heard some not so great things, but that stuff happened outside of Australia, so I don't know. But having a place to take some credit card payments or digital payments of some sort can be helpful, because when I did that market, while most of my sales were cash, the fact is, if I didn't have the card option, I would have lost a number of sales that I made then, because some people bought 2 books. So having a way to take some digital form of payment at a market is probably a must, because if they only have card and you have no card facilities and it's a market, there's no way they would have to go to a shopping centre to get cash out. They're not going to do that, because none of the other places are going to give them cash out. They'll just go, oh, see ya, move on. So having some form of way to take some digital payments is pretty much necessary. It could be PayPal. Most people have PayPal. So yeah, that's something with the market stalls. But that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments below what sort of strategies you used for any books you've published, or what you would like to use pre and post launch. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, that's pretty much it.